Jordan Rogers, Roy Philpott. We are on the field, and we are broadcasting this game in real time. ESPN's number 2 dual threat signal caller.
Got a chance to look at him pre-game. Got a really talented arm, a little bit longer of a release.
Simpson, number 15. Quarterback's not live today, so no tackling. We just saw Milroe sacked by Malachi Moore a few moments ago. Off the screen and a decent pickup.
Couple weapons on the outside for Simpson.
And some new weapons we'll be talking about today. After a gain of 6 off the right side. And that was Jam Miller.
Nick Saban said about this quarterback competition is I want to see my guys eliminate the plays that get you beat before you make the plays that win the game. So here on a third down, they give Ty the opportunity. Be mistake-free, get the ball out of your hands, pick up completions, manage the game.
Third down and 4. Simpson with time across the middle. And incomplete. Jam Miller, the intended receiver. Justin Jefferson batted that one down.
Going to the right places with the ball, with your eyes. That's what these quarterbacks are going to be judged on.
Burnett punch it up, a wobbler. Kool-Aid McKinstry takes off. And stopped after a minimal gain. Both quarterbacks on the field involved in this battle entering next season. Not a lot to show for it so far, but early impressions of Milroe, kind of that first drive.
Green, if you're watching here, the JUCO transferred #1 junior college player in the entire country.
Milroe's going to heave one deep and incomplete.
And a close one against A&M in his lone start last year. It's just about being more consistent with his decision-making is what Tommy Rees really wants to see today.
Sounds like we've been hanging out with Nick Saban with that commentary, and that's exactly what we've heard. Low toss across the middle, incomplete. Ja'Cory Brooks, the intended receiver.
Makes it much more difficult to turn the ball over. The ball gets pushed and drifts a lot more when that wind's coming from behind you. So a couple passes early already affecting that from Milroe.
And the sack as the pocket collapsed. Jahad Campbell got there. 2 consistent themes today. You've got 2 new coordinators. Obviously a new starting quarterback replacing Bryce Young. And a lot of new faces on both sides of the ball with 26 players coming in via mid-year.
It was apparent in talking to Nick Saban, he wanted a QB developer, not just a play caller. And Tommy Rees is a good play caller. A little completion out there to the left.
Miles Kitselman the grab.
And help these quarterbacks grow, which is exactly why he's here.
Justice Haynes in at running back. The talented freshman barrels ahead. We've heard a lot of good things behind the scenes about what he brings to the table, Jordan.
I mean, he is built, right? We're down here on the field in warm-up. He looks like a full-grown man that's a senior in college at just a freshman. I tell you what, it is most telling when you sit down with Nick Saban. It's not the words he says. It's his body language and facial expressions. When we asked him about Justice Haynes, there was a little bit of a smile, and he said he's good. And kind of paused. And that was all I needed to know.
He paused after saying he's good, and I just kind of looked at you and I looked at Coach. It's like, do I say something now?
Quite a few freshmen going to be making an impact this fall that you're getting your first look at today.
So funny, it's so different now in 2023 compared to what it was just 5 years ago. McKinstry straight ahead. Off the punt.
With this receiver group, they said we got 8 or 9 guys that can play almost anywhere in the country. So I almost got the feeling that we might see more 4, even some 5 wide receiver sets.
Okay, what is this offense going to look like? I don't know that we're going to fully understand that this afternoon. But coming from Notre Dame where it was tight end heavy, probably not the case here in Tuscaloosa as a tight end in C.J. Dippre. Williams stays on the field at running back. First down. Milroe off the screen to Isaiah Bond to the edge. And Bond full head of steam close to the line to gain and shoved out by Caleb Downs.
I think everybody really impressed with the growth of Isaiah Bond. Obviously played quite a bit last year. Not quite a bit, but 17 touches, 220 yards. Really reminds me of Devontae Smith. I know that's a big comparison. It's early on in his career.
Very big.
His body type, right? About 180 pounds. The way he's able to run routes and put one foot in the ground and change direction. Also a speedster. He'll be their deep threat along with Malik Benson this year.
Time for Milroe. He'll step up for a moment, dump it off. Williams has it. And a great catch reaching behind. Malachi Moore, the tackle. Coach Saban right behind the offense. Milroe across the middle. Grab is made. Danny Lewis.
It's not going to not be a part of their offense as they get 2 tight ends there. Feel really good about that group, but
Milroe.
This is what makes him special.
He has a different gear if needed, and that time it's a touchdown. And Milroe just took off, and there was no chance of stopping him.
Yeah, little backside zone read, another pressure, second-level pressure off the backside, and that is a great read by Milroe because that's not his normal read, Keith.
The Crimson Tide. 7-0.
Kind of an example there, as Kevin said, look, when I showed up, sometimes we used to have a strong side call that we'd marry with a weak side call. And now we marry a completely different call backside because of what offenses are doing with their spacing.
Well, you talk about him as a dual threat signal caller. Number 2 in the country according to ESPN in that department. And for the first time today, Ty Simpson leading his team to plus territory. But that leaping catch right at the line to gain was Niblack again.
And Niblack made an unbelievable catch. That shows you the athleticism, the size that he has.
At 6'4", 233 with that kind of leaping ability. Certainly could be a valuable commodity in the red zone. Jermaine Burton wants to make his presence known at some point. Look his way. How about that on cue? Burton open and Simpson missed him. We'll do it all over again. Simpson again out of the shotgun. Long toss. It'll be caught. They'll get some of that penalty yardage back. And along the far side, it'll bring up second down and long. Well, priority number 1 in spring practice, spring games. You want to try to keep everybody healthy, obviously.
At the end of the first quarter.
It's got a lot of people talking. Ty Simpson back on the field to start our second quarter. 7-0 white team. The tight end, another catch. Kitzelman across the middle. Justice Haynes back in at running back. Right up the gut, he'll bounce it out. And Haynes stops short of the goal line. A gain of 3. It'll bring up second down.
If not, they'll be off the board really quick in the second round.
Straight ahead, crossing the goal line for the touchdown, it is Justice Haynes.
He just looks like an Alabama back, and there's not a better way to describe it. When you're down there, it does not look like a true freshman. He looks more like 215, 220 to me, but the physical brand of football you're used to seeing.
For a 75-yard drive, just 7 plays, Ty Simpson with the handoff to the freshman running back. Manuel Henderson bring back the pseudo kickoff, 24 in white. The touchdown by Haynes from inside the 5. We saw Milroe go from 35 yards out on the keeper. Holstein's going to heave one deep. Pass will be caught. Ja'Cory Brooks. And the big gator. Brooks, a junior from Miami. 39 receptions a year ago, 8 touchdowns, almost 700 yards. Plus territory, gain of 35. Holstein just handled the snap. And it'll be brought down.
Kevin Steele mentioned, well, for a spring game here, it's not a Cheesecake Factory menu. It's more of a set menu, sit down, 3 courses.
Odell Williams, nice move. Getting tackled and brought down.
There's going to be some shakeup back there. Malachi Moore is a guy that can play on the back end. He can also play star. We mentioned Caleb Downs as well, a true freshman that's been turning heads. Can play on the back end, can play star as well. So that secondary not completely sorted out outside of Kool-Aid McKinstry and Terrion Arnold on the outside. Safety evolution and who ends up taking snaps in the fall is going to be fun to watch.
We've heard a ton about Caleb Downs. Perhaps he could play multiple spots. Into the end zone for the touchback. Holstein got on the field a moment ago, and now Dylan Lonergan set to make his debut for the Tide.
Still waiting for that first really explosive pass play.
Jem Miller, the running back, on first down. From the 20 after the touchback, and Miller try to bounce it outside. He does. Getting tackled short of the 30.
He's a guy that may find himself a starting role in the fall on Saturdays, but an incredible talent that they're really excited about.
Open receiver, Jones-Bell. Taiu with a nice move. You would know better than most as a former quarterback in this conference. Miller still the running back. And a deep ball. Floated up there for a minute, incomplete. And we talked to J.C. Latham yesterday as well. He's got plenty of experience now. Junior, grew up in Mississippi, moved to Wisconsin. He did seem to indicate there's kind of a new energy with that group.
There's talent, right? But there's an unknown at quarterback. So this offense, this identity really needs to start up front. I think that's one of the reasons the intensity has been there, and they've had such a good spring camp so far.
At halftime today, we look forward to that conversation. Miller, the running back. And instead, the toss pick up the first down.
How about the confidence there? Dial up a little pass play on 4th and short. The young quarterback Lonergan in there.
You're a talented freshman. You want to get ahead of the curve. You're going to enroll early. Mid-year, available for spring. You get the 15 sessions under your belt. Went through the progressions. That time, pass is caught by Jaden Hale. Jalen Hale will pick up the first down, a freshman out of Longview, Texas.
And Jalen Hale, three-sport athlete in high school, 200 runner, great long jumper as well. You see the athleticism from one of their young receivers.
Tied at 7, less than 7 to go now in the first half. Crimson team on the move against the white. And the inside give straight ahead on 1st and goal. And the dump off, there it is, his second score this time through the air. Justice Haynes. All right, so we can catch the football too, Jordan. Reichert back on the field for the PAT. Perfect so far today. That'll continue. 14-7 our new score. One through the air for Justice Haynes. And Reichert sent a sidewinder deep into the end zone. All right, what do you want to see here? End of the half based off of what's happened. A touchdown toss to Justice Haynes. Well, in the running back, here's Milroe. And probing that left side. Hard running. Kept the legs churning. He'll pick up a couple. 2nd down and 5. Milroe with a pass rush from the angle. And they're going to whistle him dead. I believe back there was Malachi Moore.
Again.
How many times have we called his name?
Of course, down here, didn't see a replay, so I'm not sure if someone missed a block or what happened, but Malachi definitely causing fits in the backfield.
Milroe causing fits, the quarterback scramble. Isaiah Bond back deep to receive. James Burnett do the majority of the punting today. The special teams have been choreographed to a certain extent. Reichert place kicking duties, Burnett the punter. And Isaiah Bond with a nice catch. Milroe and Simpson going back to last year. Take you back to live action. Jermaine Burton's going to throw it on the reverse. We talked about fireworks. We saw a little bit of those there. 2nd down and 10. Miller stays on the field. Simpson to Burton this time. Milroe with a stronger arm. Simpson is back to the other side of the field and incomplete. Desrick's jarred it loose. 4 to go now in the 2nd quarter after a quick possession by Ty Simpson.
You could literally say those are one play. Away from winning each of those games. Pick a play late against Tennessee. Jahmyr Gibbs maybe catches the ball in the backfield on an angle route.
McClellan, the running back. Time for Milroe. The dump off. McClellan has it, and Jace will try to scoot ahead for the first down. Using a little tempo. Less than 3 to go in the half. Deep ball. Brooks. The coverage by Arnold deep down the field was outstanding.
More dangerous than putting it right on the money out in front of a receiver.
You give your guy a chance,
no
right?
doubt.
Milroe again. Deep ball. A little tiptoe, and it was caught.
You know, comparisons, right? I'm not saying he is Debo, but he looks like a running back, looks like a linebacker, knows how to use his body really well in tight coverage. And
no, I said it earlier, fair to say Milroe has the stronger arm between him and Ty Simpson?
No doubt. When he's on rhythm and he lets it go, it's pretty. Speaking
of, gave his guy a chance. It was Isaiah Bond. And the coverage by Malachi Moore. Milroe out of Katy, Texas. Tompkins High School. Backside pressure. And he was tagged for the sack. Darius Robinson got there. From the right hash, Reichert on the way. Into the teeth of the wind. It's going to knock it down and well short.
In a 2-minute situation.
As a former quarterback in the conference, you certainly understand the meaningfulness of any rep that you can get. Deep ball over the shoulder. I think that's great commentary, examining how you throw the deep ball into the wind or with the wind. Simpson off the pump fake. And across the middle, Jermaine Burton for a first down. Into the flat, Justice Haynes with a pass. Big yardage and escapes out of bounds. That'll stop the clock. Over at Westview High School. Cleaning up pocket on 1st and 10. Burton in the end zone had to wait for it. Did he get a foot in? No. Against Des Ricks, who helped jar the football loose right as he came down. 2nd and 10. Simpson will survey and be chased around. Extending the play to the edge. Still alive, and finally, how about that move? Whoa!
He's got some burst, too.
1st and 10, a $1:04 to go in the half. Quick toss, tight end, and incomplete. He certainly had the ability to.
Yeah, different guys, right? Bryce would elude and escape the pocket to hit you deep downfield in a creative way. I feel like Ty...
But that pass defended with an intercepted. Oh, an incredible play near the goal line. Earl Little. And it was brought in. A diving grab from our angle. The other side of the field looked like SportsCenter top 10 material.
Kevin Steele said, look, if this was a Saturday in the fall, he's going to be in the mix in the ones. So he is a guy, a 4-star, unanimous 4-star, that he'll be in that conversation in the back end wherever his athleticism and his versatility lets him end up.
Well, in the running back, time for Milroe off the back foot, and that'll be intercepted. Christian Story keeps the play alive towards the end zone. Did he get there? We'll stop him just short of the initial signal. And now 1st down from the 1. Inside give. See if humanity stopped just short. Mark Ingram back now to live action. Simpson will keep it and lose a couple.
Timeout.
3rd down and 5. Time for Simpson. Aim for that front pylon and incomplete. Chip shot on the way. He will split the pipes. Great to have you connected on the other side of the field. Time for Milroe, Jordan.
I mean, some good, some bad, I think, from both guys, but this isn't a statistical performance that they're really grading. They want to see.
And from the 23, Milroe will try to survey. Deep ball. It is reeled in, a foot in bounds, and that is a catch. Kendrick Law showing the athleticism, another acrobatic grab.
That second big connection from those two, and that one, that is, you can't throw a better ball if you're Jalen Milroe. That's a cover 2 beater.
Stay inbounds for that moment and keep possession. Ball did move an inch. Lewis in the flats, and Danny Lewis dancing out.
Yeah, oh, they're going to launch it.
Milroe does exactly that. Heart of the end zone, and intercepted. Caleb Downs. Big play, number 1 for the talented freshman. 17-7. Crimson team leading the white. We'll hear from head coach Nick Saban with Jordan Rogers coming up next. Here. I don't know, what else stood out to you with what we saw maybe with Ty Simpson doing some things?
Yeah, I thought Ty Simpson had a great first half. Now, again, it's not all equal.
I get it. Simpson, the quarterback, Miller, the running back on 1st down, and Simpson all afternoon to look around. To the edge.
Use your legs at the appropriate time.
Move it back to the original line of scrimmage, just underway in our 3rd quarter. Simpson will keep it. He'll show you the Jets again in 130 days out before college football returns officially. Last spring game of the year here in Tuscaloosa, and incomplete.
Now, I'm sure there's a lot of other SEC coaches that are going to watch this, but you're not going to see anything that's really going to do you much for the fall. They're keeping everything close to the chest. Limited playbook today for both the offense and defense.
Milroe back on the field to start the 2nd half after the quick possession by Ty Simpson. Straight ahead, McClellan.
When the turnovers are there and the mistakes and the mental cues are there as well, he wants you to be clean. Oh, and again, thrown into coverage there with Kool-Aid McKinstry, waiting for that one. Probably should have been another interception. Wow throws,
right.
They're going to care more about the decision-making, and that has kind of been, it's hard, right? I mean, it was probably easier for me because I wasn't as dynamic as Milroe is with his legs and with his arm, you know?
So the potential's there to make all kinds of plays.
No doubt.
You're going to try to utilize that. Bring it back on the field. Caleb Downs back deep to receive. I know you were on the far side talking with Coach, or getting ready to, but you saw the pick by Downs at the end of the half, and we mentioned it at the time.
He's not saying he's Reggie White or that he's going to be a Hall of Famer, but he just said, you know, there's certain guys that just right away it clicks. Whether that means he's going to be an All-American or start next year, who knows? but he's gonna have a special career.
Someone on Twitter certainly will remind you, regardless of what he does, Jermaine Burton should have caught it.
And that was the context, right? It's like, look, he shouldn't be here. He shouldn't be on the field right now. He should be a senior in high school, and already he feels like a senior at times in college.
Oh, Simpson will try to race to the edge.
What is it, 7 still?
17-7.
Let's remind the fans, it is steak dinner or it's Frank and beans.
First time we've mentioned that.
There's a lot on the line here for these players. You're either going to be hungry and looking at Uber Eats later, you got a chance to sit down with J.C. Latham and Kool-Aid McKinstry, and they were talking a little trash, and I said, well, why don't you put something on the line? So they put a pair of Nike Dunks on the line.
Holstein in at quarterback. Second time we've seen Eli on the field. Spring contest. And traffic picked off, and that was intercepted. Terrion Arnold got there.
Miscommunication on the outside there. You see Holstein targeting Ja'Cory Brooks, and Brooks not expecting, almost looked like he was blocking there, so not sure that was an RPO miscommunication or what, but Terrion Arnold was ready for it.
Well, you mentioned Jordan Battle. I do want to go back there for a moment. We talked earlier, safeties and running backs. I don't know that they're the priority when it comes to the NFL draft in 2023, but you need them. You got to have them at some point. And Jim Miller.
Also, he could roll in the box and play the run extremely well. Something Malachi Moore has done really well today. Just saw him playing high safety, but we've seen him blitzing off the edge, playing low in the box a ton today.
It was 6 for Jordan Battle. Prentice was able to get a fingertip on it.
That one little off, but he's had some good throws today.
Play action on 2nd and 10. Going to heave one deep. A little post corner, some contact. Pass interference coming. Jaron Hamilton, the intended receiver. Well, it was Des Ricks, who's had a good day today.
But they have a lot of talent on the outside.
Well, I heard a lot of the same conversations you did. Off the pump fake. Pass will fall complete. Did he catch it? Yeah, he did. He'll lose a couple. Jeremiah Alexander brought down Hale.
In talking to Nick Saban yesterday about that, I thought it was interesting. He said, look, under Bill O'Brien, an NFL offensive coordinator, we ran a very NFL at times. This year, it'll look a little different because I think they feel better about the pieces around the quarterback.
3rd down and 4, pocket collapsing, Lonergan in zone, and boy, it should have been picked off. It was Des Ricks again. Just right through the wickets. It'll be 4th down.
Yeah, this is one of those times that as a young quarterback, you got to throw that one over the head of your check down. Right? That was kind of a panic. You get through 1 read, 2 read.
39-yarder just inside the 30. And he connects. 4:13 remaining here in our 3rd quarter here in Tuscaloosa. And Nick Saban helping lead that charge with his players once again this offseason. Daniel Henderson will take back the kick.
In the fall, and for his ability to stretch the field, the speed that he has.
On display now, the crosser was available. Instead, Isaiah Bond grabs it.
Even though he ran a 10.44, I think it was, which is top 10 all-time in Kansas, so a big-time player in the fall.
And a great upside, number 11 in white. Malik Benson. Milroe wants it all. He'll go deep and out of bounds.
In press coverage now at the bottom of your screen against Malik Benson as the handoff goes to Williams for the 1st down. But
dude, you could be a play-by-play guy. You can put an end to that rather quickly. Here's time. And Milroe again towards the end zone. And was it caught? Milroe, yes, the touchdown. Manuel Henderson, a catch last year. How about a touchdown here on 8A?
Wow. Great separation on the outside. Working on Malachi Moore there. Caleb Downs at safety. Boy, and Henderson can fly. One of those young guys that can really go. And you're like, that is unbelievable. What a big-time throw. You're seeing a few of them today.
Talking with Tommy Rees, talking with Coach Saban.
I say frustrates you. It's a good problem to have, right?
I'm inconsistency, but right, yes.
Well, yeah, you could be frustrated by a guy that can't make those kind of throws, but here at Alabama, there's a standard to decision making and protecting the football.
Because there's an early season big-time matchup with Texas making the return trip after what we saw last year in Austin, right? So you want to have all your ducks in a row, especially at quarterback, by the time the Longhorns come calling. And the schedule looks like this. I mean, you'll get Middle Tennessee coming to town in the Fighting Rick Stockstill before Texas on September 9th. Circle the calendar right now for that one.
And they had a monster recruiting class under Steve Sarkisian. Quinn Ewers looks much more developed. I had their bowl game. I thought he continued to get better as the season went on. And I think Arch Manning coming in, better have this quarterback situation ironed out because they're going to bring it.
So Milroe's touchdown pass, that concluded a 70-yard, 5-play drive.
Greg Sankey right now is, I think we need an SEC Red Zone channel. I'd volunteer myself to handle that, you know, if the opportunity arises. There's going to be so many good games.
So, in theory, Jordan Rodgers would do Nation on a Saturday morning, SEC Red Zone for late morning into the early afternoon, and then do SEC Prime later that day.
I grew up a California boy, so I remember watching those guys, been in both those stadiums as a kid, watching, but college football is changing on a lot of fronts.
Well, what we don't know is who will be the Crimson Tide starting quarterback this fall.
To Tua Tagovailoa, to Mac Jones, to Bryce Young. You got the highest paid player in NFL history. You got 2 first-round draft picks that are NFL starters.
It'll be 3rd down and 10 with Haynes, the running back. He'll fake it his direction to the freshman down the field, and incomplete. Now, Burton was the intended receiver. He got popped by Pope.
So that was a route adjustment by Jermaine Burton. Corner to that side, set in cover 2. So Jermaine adjusted to that hole shot.
What have you seen today between the two quarterbacks that gives you hope that the stat and the graphic that you just saw has a chance to continue this fall?
I think it's who limits the mistakes the most and who really develops over summer into fall camp the most as well. And I was just thinking that I was saying a lot of fans are probably sitting there going, well, you don't really have practice. Like, how do you get that much better? You have months. Things slow down for you. So it's not going to be structured practice, but there will be 7-on-7 player-led stuff all summer.
20-14, Crimson with the lead over the Whites. Holstein going to be tripped up and brought down. First time we've seen a quarterback hit the turf today.
I take pride in it, but I don't know what to do about the dogs in the grass.
Right.
Anybody out there on Twitter, hit me up.
They'll hit you up. Incomplete. Isaiah Bond. He has played like a grown man throughout spring ball, according to what we've heard this past week. Bond corral the fair catch.
And a couple new names that I think can make a splash as well.
Dylan Lonergan back on the field at quarterback. Inside give and wrapped up quick was Jam Millen. Sunsplash afternoon this Saturday, including spring ball around the SEC. Lonergan fires that one in the turf under duress.
Maybe.
We don't know.
Said it was kind of Coach Saban's call. Obviously, I think that'll depend on the quarterback development and where he feels in their development. He may jump back up to the booth. So that'll be determined a lot closer to the season. But fun to see him on the sideline coaching it up.
Well, the Tommy Rees story is certainly amazing. A lot of young coordinators in the SEC this year. Think about Austin Armstrong down at Florida, 28 years of age. Milroe back on the field, a touch for Jonathan Bennett off left tackle.
I think part of that has to do with just football, especially at the college level, is changing so rapidly. And really the tempo, you saw Gus Malzahn kind of creating opportunities for them.
White team on the move, 1st down and 10, trailing by 6. Milroe the quarterback. By a little time, flush, and now we'll take off.
We needed it, though. I mean, we were a bad football team. We need a little attitude adjustment. We need a little toughness, and he knew that, and so he said, hey, we're going live. We're playing.
Caleb Downs in coverage. Henderson able to grab it, his 2nd catch. First one went for a touchdown. It'll be 3rd down. From the 35. And Milroe was hit.
You want to limit what both sides of the ball can do.
Downs will settle in underneath this punt. Fair catch in traffic. Gains a couple of touchdowns today, one through the air, one on the ground, and Simpson's going to float one, looking for Burton. In stride, and he's got it. it down at the 3.
Perfectly thrown ball. Again, we've mentioned it. The wind is behind Ty Simpson right now, so he takes a little air off this, but perfectly leads Jermaine Burton, who had a step or two on the DV there. That is great to see if you're an Alabama fan.
And Haynes, and he will push his way across the goal line for the touchdown. Third score of the day for the freshman running back. Firmly in the grasp of the Crimson team.
That might be the player of the game as well. True freshman running back Justice Haynes. Great feel, and it's so much harder in short yardage just because there's so many more bodies, the windows and those running lanes.
Swing kickoff, crush, left side of the end zone. After Simpson hit Burton in stride for that long gain. The hesitation, and Williams couldn't bring it in, had to reach behind him. They're going to be good again. Kirby Smart, mentored by Nick Saban. They've got questions at quarterback, Carson Beck. Pass intended for Kendrick Law. Coverage by Kool-Aid McKinstry. Now the Dogs try to go for the three-peat. Lee Benson tried to keep that one alive. Couldn't do it.
I tell you what, Tennessee, they're not getting overlooked by any stretch of the imagination, but great throw there by Milton, right on the money. Like, hey, how far can you throw it? And he goes, the easy answer is 80. And I'm like, whoa, easy? And then he goes, but I've thrown it further than that in games and practice. Like, I've hit 95.
Lonergan back in at quarterback. 2nd and 10, less than 3 to go. Into the flats. Nyblack will bring it in.
It's a two-man quarterback competition, but I tell you what, he's looked good.
3rd down and 8. He was bumped. And that'll whistle the play dead. 4th down.
Come out. White team.
You just kind of casually said you felt like Milton, pound for pound, could be the best quarterback in America, if I heard you correctly.
How much talent you have.
Upton Belafont back on the field. 52-yard effort. Wind at his back, and that will miss wide right, and perhaps those guys also have to show up. Here's time for Milroe. He'll zing it complete. Tight end has it. Reasonable gain by Danny Lewis, his 2nd catch. For the Tide, as Milroe. Again, it's Lewis. Plenty of weapons. Either Ty Simpson's, Jalen Milroe's disposal. Corey Brooks on the crosser.
And again, you come here and you run the offense that's in place and you kind of put your fingerprints on it, winning where you can. I will say one thing that does stand out.
Another season in which you replace a starting quarterback who won a Heisman Trophy, both play callers.
Have them split out in a 2-point stance right now. Good route runner.
4th and 16. Milroe on the move and incomplete. Never bad to play that game. Reno, the running back. Simpson back on the field. He was thinking about going deep. Now buy a little time on the move. We got hot here in Tuscaloosa after rain pushed through late last night. Simpson check it down. 3rd down coming up. Crimson team out in front and with possession. Simpson will float it off the carom, incomplete.
Good little breeze at his back here.
He'll drive this one a little deeper, and Belafont from way downtown. A 49-yarder is good for number 98. Good way to close out special teams.
There's a lot of talent. That'll get sorted out, I think, from a quarterback perspective. Great little hole shot there again by Jalen Milroe. My first extended time seeing Ty Simpson, I thought his decision-making was very good. Hung in the pocket, worked through his progressions. He was accurate with his throws. That is a heck of a throw there again.
30-14. Milroe stays in there. Valuable live reps. Benson make it 3 for 3. Stopped at the 10.
He's a great route runner as well.
4 for 4. Fade. Yes, indeed.
Wow.
The Malik Benson drive on A-Day.
A little bit of hand fighting there. I won't call it a push-off. I think he only had 1 catch before that drive.
That's correct.
Speed and the ball skills to be a big factor for this Alabama offense come fall.
And what a nice spark at the conclusion of this spring game for both Jalen Milroe and Malik Benson get ready. That season opener against Middle Tennessee. It'll be here before you know it. That's the only sad thing about today is, okay, now it's really... Well, shout out to our entire ESPN crew today, getting us on the air, battling local internet outage. Lonergan, a loft one deep. Incomplete. Look over this team, this program starting 2023 in any way, shape, or form. They are certainly motivated after narrowly missing the playoff a season ago, trying to get back there. So that only motivates him even more, not that he needs it. I's have been dotted, the T's have been crossed here to conclude A-Day. It should be the final play of the afternoon. 30-21, our final score. The Crimson over the Whites.